its nuclear program following U.S. and Israeli strikes last June.
But they ignored those warnings and refused to cease their pursuit of nuclear weapons.
The president says the new operation, also targeting Iran's missile program and its Navy, could last for several weeks or more.
We now have an indication as to why that is. It is the large stockpile of ballistic missiles and cruise missiles that Iran had accumulated in the last few years.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. The Pentagon says more than 1,000 targets were hit in Iran in the first 24 hours.
But the most significant news to come out of the Pentagon briefing this morning was when General Dan Kane said that they had achieved air superiority. That means they have suppressed all of the Russian and Chinese-made air defense systems in Iran in less than 3 days.
4 U.S. service members have been killed as Iran fires missiles and drones at targets across the Middle East.
They're attacking airports. They're attacking hotels. They're hitting not just military bases. They're attacking our embassies directly. They're attacking facilities that have nothing to do with war or with military. And that's a weakened Iran. That's in Iran despite years of sanctions.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio just telling reporters there was an imminent threat from Iran and that the president did not need congressional approval. Rubio and other top officials briefed top congressional leaders at this hour. State media is reporting a warning from Iran to fire on any ship trying to pass the Strait of Hormuz, where 1/5 of the world's oil supply passes daily. This is a first at the United Nations.
The agenda is adopted.
First Lady Melania Trump becoming the first sitting U.S. First Lady to chair a UN Security Council meeting on education in conflict. The council's presidency rotates each month. After a morning sell-off, a mixed finish on Wall Street, the Dow down 73 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
3 U.S. Army veterans are awarded the Medal of Honor.
President Trump awarded the nation's highest military honor to 3 soldiers for their heroics in Nazi Germany, Vietnam, and Afghanistan. Master Sergeant Roderick Edmonds is credited with saving the lives of Jewish American soldiers in a POW camp during World War II by refusing orders to separate Jewish soldiers. Sergeant Major Terry Richardson saved the lives of 85 fellow soldiers during an assault in Vietnam. And a Polish officer honored Army Staff Sergeant Michael Aulis for giving his life to shield the Polish service member in Afghanistan in 2013. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The motive for a suspected terror attack remains under investigation in Austin, Texas.
I cannot imagine the grief, pain, and loss these families are feeling today.
Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis in the latest briefing identifying 2 people killed in the mass shooting outside a bar early Sunday.
Savitha, Sean, and Ryder Harrington.
14 others hurt. Police shot and killed the gunman, who was wearing clothes with an Iranian flag and the words "property of Allah," with the FBI investigating it as an act of terrorism. We're told the suspect, a naturalized U.S. citizen from West Africa, was not previously on law enforcement's radar, and that Sunday's rapid response from the Austin PD and EMS saved numerous lives.
Fox's Jeff Bonasso. The police chief also says one of the wounded may be taken off life support today. A federal appeals court is rejecting a Trump administration effort to slow down refunds for the emergency tariffs struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court last month. Instead, the appeals court is moving a refund process to the next phase by sending the issue to a lower court. The Justice Department was pushing for a 90-day delay as the administration works to implement tariffs under a different statute. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Start right at tip-off. Illinois and Michigan will. Jeffrey Anderson's got the ball. Here we go.
Jason Benetti. Michigan goes a little bit. There'll be a lot of pointing.
Illinois will be very deliberate on the offensive end. They've taken 23 seconds off the timer. Right to the rim, and Tomislav Ivicic deposits it. Boswell. Another Euro. Oh, it's Euro night for Colin Boswell. Illinois didn't have a three for the final 13 minutes of the first half. They have two here, and that's a big hit to respond for Michigan.
Pin downs, get some corner jumpers. Nice roll by the big fella. What a look.
Mara cross lane and a hammer from Johnson.
Great passer, this kid.
Cadeau extra for Burnett. They've thinned out Illinois. It's Mara with a soft touch.
Oh, they are relentless. Burnett does not take bad shots.
Mara taps it beautifully, and Lindenborg fills the lane, and a foul. Both of these teams with national championship hopes. There he is at the rim again. Mara above everybody. Lindenborg lost it, got it back. Zips it out. McKinney, another.
How about that? This kid.
Orange Crush trying to stay in this game, but Michigan's spine has been.
Look at this. Look at the fine.
Cadeau to Cheddar.
Not bad, though.
And their first win in 10 tries against Illinois gets them an outright Big Ten title. The Michigan Wolverines, before the calendar turns to March.
The lesson was learned. They took the belt off and beat our behinds with it. And if you like that too much, then you should probably go to the rec center and play.
Ugly stuff the other night, my man. Ugly.
Hey, it's all perspective, you know?
I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Well, the Illini are 9-1 in their last 10 games against Michigan.
How about that? That's a
it's
nice.
all about how you frame it.
Yeah, that's a nice spin on it. ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. That's true. The Illini are now 9-1 in their last 10 against Michigan.
Pretty good.
I mean, that is pretty good. It's pretty good, you know? If you step back and look at it that way. But if you just look at what happened on Friday night, oof.
Yeah.
Rough day at the office. And Underwood said in the postgame presser he thought Morez Johnson was the best player on the floor for Michigan in that first half. Hard to disagree with that, man. The bigs for Michigan, we'd seen them plenty earlier in the year and what they're capable of. It was on full display at State Farm Center. Pretty good start overall for the Illini. It looked like it was shaping up to be a back-and-forth heavyweight fight, but the bigs were just too much. And, I don't know where you start with that, Evan. I don't know what you're looking at, because you got to put it behind you, because the next game is tomorrow night. It's senior night against Oregon. But the focus for a lot of Illini fans for the last few days has obviously been on the loss to Michigan.
Right. And here's what I want to do. I do want to take a step back. Before we can look forward, we do need to look back. It's part of the thing about having a Friday night game and then a radio show that only goes Monday through Friday. So we're going to take a look at Friday night, and Michigan's really freaking good.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, that team that Dusty May has put together. I texted you and Nephew Cooper after the game.
Yeah.
And I just said, dang it.
Mm-hmm.
Man crush on Dusty May unlocked. Because the way that he has run that program and the way that he has built a culture with that team, small things, like little tiny things that I don't think anybody would have noticed unless they were looking at it, was just so impactful to me watching it that, for example, they do the, which Tim Sinclair, my gosh, hilarious. I mean, he starts doing starting lineups before Michigan is even to their bench. And so he's going through the Michigan starting lineup, and they're not even back over to the bench yet after the national anthem. So, Elliot Cadeau and like all these guys, they're not getting to, get their little walkout and handshake and all that stuff. Like, I mean, class A petty moves. I love that so much. And then when they're finished and they turn to the Illini starting lineup, which they announce Morez, the place goes crazy, obviously. Booing, yelling stuff. And as they get to the Illini lineups, they're still booing and they're still yelling at Merez. And what they did is they make a circle and face inwards to each other and link arms. And so it's just their team. They're blocking out the outside.
out the noise.
It's just us.
Mm-hmm.
And they stood there for the entirety of the starting lineups for the Illini. And then at the end of the half, they walk out together. Nobody goes off. They all get together and they walk out together. And the way that they, I don't know if it was something specific with this game or it's something they do all year, but just looking at the small things like that Dusty May has done with this Michigan basketball team. And then you think back to the program that he inherited of what Juwan Howard had done to that program. As a human being, it's a wonderful, lovely thing to see. They created a team culture. They were inward faced. Now to the basketball game.
Yeah, let's get into it.
I don't know. I would probably disagree a little bit. I think Coach Underwood is being very, what's the word I want to think of? Encouraging of Merez in that first half. I think the first half, the second half, the entire game, it was Yax. I think Yaxel was the engine that made the entire Michigan team go.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense that he played on Keaton in the whole game, but the first half, Keaton couldn't figure it out. He couldn't. You know what it looked like? I was talking to one of the Michigan guys after the game, one of the Michigan media guys.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what it looked like? A 24-year-old freaking grown man guarding an 18-year-old.
Playing against a kid. Yeah.
Playing against a kid.
Yeah.
The way that he just got in his face and would not get out of his face.
Took away any passing lanes from Keaton Wagler. Took away the, Keaton, and this happened to Kylan Boswell too. They took away the lane completely defensively. Right away in the first half, made life very, very difficult. We've seen a lot of teams since Keaton has emerged that tried to knock him around. There was still some of that from Yax, but overall, that was a defensive clinic from Michigan the other night, man.
And
that
it wasn't
was impressive.
It wasn't even so much, in the half court offense, which obviously was incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
For Keaton there. It was in between the whistles. Wherever Keaton was, even when the game wasn't in motion, Yax was right there in his face.
With him. Yep.
In his face. So much so that, I'm watching them before the play even starts, and they're getting ready to do an inbound pass underneath the hoop and to go full court for Illinois. And Keaton's just kind of walking back out of the huddle, and Yax is right there in his face. And Keaton kind of gives him a little shove, a little push, and the ref came up to Keaton and was like, what are you doing? Don't do that. You can't push people. We're not. And he's like, he's not touching you. It was like when you're a kid and you're with your sibling in the car.
And not touching you.
I'm not touching you.
I'm not touching you.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. And it's technically it's true. You can't really get him in trouble, but my gosh, that had to be. So that was wonderful. That was beautiful. Flip side. Illinois missed a ton of open shots.
Drove me insane. And I know it frustrated a lot of people, yeah.
What I want everyone to do, we've gotten a lot of texts.
Already. I love
on the Maxwell City Recycling text line. We got a 217 texter at 9:07 p.m. on Friday night.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah, it's over.
It
Back
said,
up the trucks.
We'll be lucky to win 2 games in the tournament. We got here, time to turn the page on men's basketball, blah, 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 all this stuff. Everybody calm down. That's not fun. That was not a good night, Friday night.
Well,
Michigan is the best team, I think, in college basketball. I know they just lost to Duke. I think they're better than Duke. I think they're the best team in college basketball. This Illini basketball team is really freaking good. Everybody calm down. Just because they lost to the number 1 team in the nation, I guess not technically. They lost to the number 3 team in the nation.
Yeah, number 3.
No, guess what? You don't have to play Michigan in the round of 32. You don't have to play Duke in the round of 32. Guess what? You don't have to play Michigan in the Sweet 16. You don't have to play Duke in the Sweet 16. You look at those top 3, top 4 teams in the nation. They're legit. You look at the next 15 teams, I'm not scared of any of them.
No, but that's where you are. You're in that tier, right? You're in that tier.
Yeah.
And where you can and should beat all those teams. But if you have panic, I'll go the other way. let's say I'm super panicked about this as an Illini fan. I'm really concerned after that loss. Not just because of that loss, not just because of how it happened, but because you've dropped, 4 of the last 6, 5 of the last 7, right? So
4 of 6.
4 of 6. So it's not a good run you're on right now. And you've got Oregon coming to town tomorrow night. That's a team you ought to take care of. You ought to win your last 2 going into the Big Ten tournament. You should, barring any unforeseen craziness or surprises. And that's a good get-right for you going into the Big Ten tournament. And that's good get-right stuff going into the NCAA tournament. But I understand that deflated feeling that some fans might have. Okay, we're stepping back, big picture stuff. All the criticism that the Orange Crush took, or that this section, whatever the finger pointing was for the last 2 weeks as to why things weren't going so great, it felt like there was this big rally, right? Everybody's camping out. The students are camping out. You got dudes from the football team passing out pizzas, and you got Rafael Davis running around making peace with people after, his little spat last week with Werner and all that sort of stuff. And you start out with the alley-oop, and it's like the equivalent of Hester running back a touchdown in the Super Bowl right before you get smoked by the Colts, right? Like, it's not that big.
Too soon.
Yeah, I know, not on that. I'm just saying, boy, that hot start, the first 3 minutes, and you went, okay, this is going to be a hell of a night in Champaign. And it was just not in the way you hoped it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, they played a good first half, and they played a good start to the second half. But like you said, they kept missing open shots. Like the open shots were there. They weren't going down. You've got a couple texts coming in. Kenny says, I went to the game on Friday. It was the loudest all year. Michigan is a great team, but I want another shot of playing them again, hopefully in the Nationals. Well, you're going to play them, hopefully, in the Big Ten tournament.
Probably you play them in the tournament. Yeah, Big Ten tournament, yeah.
So you're going to get another shot at him in Chicago. Also, I love Brad Underwood, but my only criticism on him is I'm tired of hearing him in almost every press conference saying, that's on me, and get it figured out. I get that, but also, I mean, what do you get? That's what we want press conferences to be something they're not.
Do you want them to blame the players? Do you know what I mean? Like nobody's ever happy after a loss in a post-game presser, right?
Yeah, pressers are just the worst thing ever for fans.
He did want Underwood. He did say more than once that, and I think it was Jeremy. I think it was Jeremy Werner asked him about Kylan kind of putting the loss on himself or taking a big brunt of the blame, and he said, "Good, yeah." And like, okay, well, what do you want out of him? I want leadership. I want this and da-da-da, we need to get nasty again on defense. And he says it starts with him and Tommy.
Here's what I'm also hopeful for in the NCAA tournament is you kind of get away from Big Ten refs. And Keaton's going to start getting some of these calls that he deservedly so.
That's a great point, man. That's a great point.
Big Def mentions it too on the text line here. As bad as it is that he's not getting calls as a star player, I think it's a badge of honor for Keaton that teams are like, the only way we can control him is to beat the crap out of him for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
NBA next year will be easy for Keaton compared to this garbage. And here's the thing, he still gave Yaks in all of that. He still gave him 23 points?
Yep.
25 points, something like that.
Yeah, he was the leading. Keaton led all scorers with 23 the other night, and
still gave it to him.
Yeah, and it was as ugly as it got. There were some bright spots. How about Merck? Can we throw some flowers Merck's way, because I felt like he was Merck against the world there for about 8 or 9 minutes in the second half.
He was battling. Merck
bless him.
So interesting. Because he battles, he gets after it.
Yeah.
And then he has like a couple of turnovers that you're just thinking, you're watching the game and thinking, what? What are you doing? Like, there was one play where he just turned and passed it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Nobody was there. And he's, what? But then he gets back on the other end of the floor and he just, bedhead assassin, man, gets after it. So Scott and Terre Haute says lost 4 of 6, no confidence. I don't know. I kind of disagree. I mean, of the 4 losses, you really got to put them into perspective.
Right.
2 of them was without Kylan in overtime.
I'm talking about,
one was without Kylan and Andre in overtime, which that's a whole nother story that we can talk about is Andre right now.
Sure.
Yeah, UCLA is the one that hurts the most because you were out on a big lead. And then you lost to, seriously, I mean, you look at Duke and Michigan, and I mean, I think they're both better than Arizona, but you could put Arizona in that mix.
Yeah.
They're just a different tier right now.
217-359-2255. That's your number. Feel free to chime in. Plenty of people are right now on the Max Twin City Recycling text line. And we're going to dive into plenty more of this. Doug Bouchon from Orange and Blue News is going to join us in the next few minutes as well. Break down what happened. He was also at the game and looking ahead to what's going to happen with Oregon. Let's do some Illini headlines, though, because there was a lot happening.
Illini headlines on ESPN 93.5.
How about that, baby? Did you like that new one? Your little intro there. Yeah. You're aware by now the number 10 Illini down by number 3 Michigan, 84-70 on Friday night. Lost a 9-game winning streak against Michigan, which started back in 2019. Morez Johnson scored 19 points and added 11 boards in his return to Champaign. Keaton Wagler scored a game-high 23, 4 boards and 2 steals. And David Mirkovic recorded his 6th double-double of the season, 12 points and 10 rebounds. 5 Fighting Illini women scored in double figures, but they fell yesterday to number 22 Minnesota. Heartbreaker. Great game. 78-73. It was at State Farm Center. That concludes the regular season. Barry Wallace led the Illini with 15 points. Maddie Weber and Aaliyah Guyton each added 14. Sarah Parchment and Destiny Jackson tabbed 13. And with that, the Big Ten Conference released the full bracket for the 2026 All-State Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament, which is going to happen this week. Kicks off on the 4th through the 8th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, and Illinois is set to serve as the number 10 seed. And they will be playing Wednesday at 5 o'clock against number 15, Wisconsin, in the first round. All the games are going to be on the Peacock Network. If you don't have the Peacock, download the Peacock, Evan Stone.
I got it.
You better have it. Illinois baseball closed the First Pitch Invitational with a 14-6 victory over the University of Albany at Fluor Field on Sunday afternoon. Now winners of 5 straight games, the Fighting Illini went a perfect 3-0 over the weekend, and the men are now 7-4 on the season. And on the flip side, Illinois softball now 7-12 overall. Beat Ball State 4-2 on Sunday afternoon to finish its Hilltoppers spring fling and begin the month of March with a victory. Right-handed pitcher Carly Yergler picked up her first win of the season, throwing a complete game and conceding just 2 runs on 3 hits. And those, my friend, are your Illini headlines for this Monday. The first Monday of March.
I got one more.
Very exciting. You got one? Hit me with it.
One more Illini headline is this weekend is Big Ten Wrestling, Big Tens. So it's their tournament. It's their thing. It's out in Penn State. So you're going to go out to the mecca currently of college wrestling.
That it is.
Out there in Penn State. And they came out with the Big Ten Championship pre-seeds today, this afternoon. Couple good moments and a couple of shockers.
Hit me with it. What do we got?
Well, you got Spencer Moore at 125. He's the number 2 seed. And so that's really good there. And then at 133 pounds, your returning national champ, undefeated Lucas Bird, is your 2 seed.
What?
So
hey, you know what? Bulletin board material.
I was about to say, I think
go.
you're going to see an angry Lucas Bird showing up in the old Penn State. What are they?
Happy Valley.
Happy Valley.
It's about to be very unhappy Valley when Lucas gets to town.
Happy Valley.
Smashed into smithereens. Thanks to Jake and Muhammad for a little reminder that Carly Yergler is a Muhammad grad. So local girl doing pretty well for herself with the Illini softball team. All right.
Go Bulldogs.
Quick break. Up next, Doug Bouchon from Orange and Blue News talking Illini hoops on the drive.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do insulation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance, and they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today. 217-586-3863 or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
Hi, this is Damon Hackelman, owner of Clean Right in Champaign. When disaster strikes your home or business, you have choices for emergency restoration services in Champaign County, and we're honored every time you choose us. At Clean Right, you're not calling a big national chain, you're calling a family-owned and operated company with deep roots right here in the community. We treat every customer like a neighbor, because chances are you are. Whether it's water damage, fire, storms, or unexpected emergencies, our certified and experienced technicians are ready with a 24/7 rapid response. We work alongside trusted expert partners to make the restoration process smooth and stress-free, guiding you every step of the way. Our goal is simple: to return your home or business to safe, clean, like-new condition as quickly and painlessly as possible. Learn more or request services anytime at cleanright.net. Clean Right, restoring properties and peace of mind across Champaign County.
I'm very honored to have Brittany Algie in my studio. She's advanced practice registered nurse specializing in behavioral health at OSF Healthcare Sacred Heart in Urbana. Now has several options for inpatient, outpatient behavioral health, offering medication management and therapy to treat depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, PTSD, and more. Isn't it, you have to kind of agree you kind of need to talk to somebody?
Absolutely.
How do you get to that?
Being honest and doing a self-check-in about how you feel. Checking in with your emotions, seeing like, am I okay? Because a lot of times we're highly functioning, feeling depressed, we're feeling overwhelmed, and we don't take a minute to just pause and actually see how we're feeling.
But so stigma, Brittany, and you don't want to talk to somebody because then they'll think you're crazy.
Well, there's no such thing as crazy. So there's nothing wrong with asking for help, because life is always going to be challenging. There's always going to be stressors that come along.
So we commend you and
Thank you.
Somebody who loves what they do. So I'm going to give out your number.
Behavioral Health Professionals, OSF Healthcare, Sacred Heart, Urbana, 217-337-4310.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
PDR Automotive in Urbana is a locally owned repair shop, and they've now serviced over 250,000 vehicles in their near 50-year history. Now, that's more than 4 times the size of a sold-out Memorial Stadium. It's more than all Division I athletes in the country combined. That's more than the entire population of Champaign County. That's more than, well, you get the idea. When you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Hope you're having a great Monday afternoon so far. It is The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Rough one on Friday night. We've established that. However, the page is turning. Right? We're turning it.
Is it?
I hope so. Quick turn.
Quick turn.
Fast turn.
Get back at it.
But before we do that, let's talk with Doug Bouchon from Orange and Blue News and stay on this page with Michigan for just a few moments longer. Doug, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Great to have you back on with us. So we all had a view of what happened on Friday. What was your view of things, and how do the Illini turn the page looking ahead to Oregon tomorrow night?
Well, you know, when you have a few minutes to step back from it, what really jumps out is that Michigan's really good. There's 3 teams that in the country. There's Duke, there's Arizona, and there's Michigan, and all those 3 teams are kind of head and shoulders above everybody else, I think. And what they really do is they just expose every weakness that you have. You know, it gets highlighted and exposed. They did that against Illinois. Illinois had trouble defending on the perimeter, which is a recurring issue from UCLA game and past games. Physicality-wise, they were outmatched by a bigger, stronger, more mature Michigan team. They got forced into contested twos, which you don't see a lot from this offense. You know, they get threes and layups, and that's what they want. But Michigan just they channel you into the lane, make you take contested twos. You saw a lot of that from Illinois, and you know, how much you can take away from that, I don't know, because like I said, Michigan's really good. They're a national title contender, but there's some things that you certainly can work on, you know, and kind of carry over into the Oregon game.
Doug, when I look at the stats from the other night, and Underwood talked plenty about Merez Johnson in the postgaming, that he thought Merez was the best player on the court in the first half, and you know, he goes for a 19 and 11. How much has he improved in a year's time, in your opinion, or is this just the Merez we always knew here?
Well, he has improved. You know, the thing that I saw was just so much more confidence. You know, he plays with a certain pace now. His motor's always been good. He's always played hard, but his motor now is nonstop. He's relentless. You know, he's always been, it's my ball kind of rebounder, and we saw more of that. You know, he can step out a little bit, and we saw some of that in high school, but he's only made like 7 or 8 threes on the season, so it's not like he's become a three-point shooter.
Right.
But offensively, of course, he's made the most progress. He can make the mid-range shots, but it was kind of more of the same with more physical presence, high motor, can dominate on the glass, and you know, I think a lot of Illini fans wish that he was doing that for the Illini this year, because he's a really good player.
Yeah, he is a good player. I think we can get a little lost in the weeds talking about Illinois and Merez and Michigan and all that stuff, which the atmosphere was awesome. I did get a little bit of a feel on Friday night, the Orange Crush and everybody. I'm like, hey guys, we know Merez. Let's not rile him up too much, because he thrives in these moments. What do you take away from Keaton spending 38 minutes as he was on the floor with Yaks and sharing the same pair of shorts?
Well, you know, what we've seen from him recently is teams, you know, the book on him is get physical with him and try to knock him off his game. And teams have done that and had some success with it. But you look at the point totals at the end of the game, he's still got 20 points. You know, so he just kind of fights through that, takes what the defense gives him at times, you know, a little bit times off pressure. I think recently we've seen him force a few shots at the rim because he doesn't have tremendous lift where he just jumps over guys. He uses his length and some craftiness to finish. But he still had, I think, 23 points in the game? Yep. So it's not like they shut him down. But what they try to do is bump him, get physical with him, knock him off his game, and there's been a little bit of success with that. But he's just a really good player, and, you know, one of the leading contenders for Big Ten Player of the Year.
Doug, you are a big X's and O's guy, and we love when you talk analytics with us. But I want to ask you about the Illini defense. Brad Underwood talked plenty about that, talked about maybe focusing a little bit too much on basics. He mentioned that in the post-game presser, and he wanted to see a little bit more of a nastiness out of his starting five defensively. What can they do to bring that onto the court again? I've heard Underwood say more than once he's got to coach it out of them, but what can you see specifically that needs to improve?
Well, you got to get some leadership from the guys, you know, on the court, and I think that falls on Kylan Boswell. You know, he's taken it upon himself to play that leadership role. But you've seen, I think, during the course of the season where he kind of picks his spots to be impactful defensively instead of, you know, being consistent with it. When he's really dialed in defensively, guarding the ball especially, he sets the tone and he turns teams over and forces them to go places they don't want to go on the court. You want to see more of that consistently from him, just leadership by example. But, you know, it's kind of Underwood's go-to thing is we need more toughness, and they do need more toughness. But some of it also comes down to doing what you do well. And we've seen them try to guard on the perimeter. And those quick twitch guards, UCLA, they couldn't stop them. Alabama, they couldn't stop them. Michigan, they couldn't shut those guys down on the perimeter and keep them from getting where they want to go. And you have to kind of disrupt teams, not let them have freedom of movement. So, you know, defending on the perimeter is not a strength. So what you want to do is you want to defend the lane because Illinois is really big. You want to defend the rim. Illinois is really big. So do the things that you do well, you know, and use your length, use your size, and don't get caught up in trying to defend guys in space. You know, maybe get those long arms in the passing lanes and disrupt them a little bit like that.
Well, one of those guys that you would love to see be, you know, an intense older guy leader on the floor is Andrei Stojakovic, who could get out there on the defensive end and use his his strength and his physicality to try and be one of those guys. But something right now, the last, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I know he had his injury, but something just feels off within this rotation. And Andre, can you put your finger on whatever that might be?
I can't. And I agree with you. It does feel a little bit off. I know he had the ankle, but I don't think that the health is the complete answer to that. You got to see him more focused and dialed in. Brad Underwood had to kind of force feed it on him not to just be an offensive threat and a driver, just starting from the beginning of the season, and he made a lot of progress. He started, going to the glass more, getting more physical defensively. Against Ohio State when they couldn't set point guard, they put Andre on him and shut him down in the second half. And so he's been good defensively in spots, but UCLA seemed like a turning point to me, especially the last play of the game where he had an opportunity to step up and stop the ball and prevent the buzzer beater layup, and was just kind of nonchalant about it. He didn't have a good defensive posture, standing straight up. He didn't move, and you don't want to see that. But we did talk to Underwood today, and he said that Stojakovic is having a great week of practice, and he's been really good. So I think he has it in him, but you got to kind of draw it out of him because it doesn't come to him naturally.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis. That's Evan. Doug Bouchon from Orange and Blue News is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Doug, let's turn the page and look ahead to tomorrow night and senior night. The presence in the low post isn't going to get a whole lot easier, although the record isn't great for the Oregon Ducks. Nate Biddle is a hoss at 7 foot and 250 and just dropped 20 points the other night. How does he compare to what the Illini just went through with Michigan?
Well, he's not 7'4" or 7'3" or whatever, but he is 7 foot, and he's one of the best defenders in the Big Ten. Not just checking the rim, he can step out and defend on the perimeter too, and use his length. And then offensively, he can step out and shoot the ball a little bit. He's averaging 17 points a game, 7 rebounds, and I think he's one of the leading contenders for Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. I know he was on the all-defensive team last year, but if he's not a one-man wrecking crew, I think Oregon might be in a little bit of trouble. They're not a good or efficient team offensively. They lean a little bit on their protecting the rim and defense, but I think Illinois can score against them, and I think this is a game where you want to see Illinois' defense have a bounce-back game because these guys don't really put the ball in the bucket at a high rate.
Do you think we've gotten a few texts on our text line, and of course it's made the social media rounds and all that good stuff where people are like, oh man, the sky has already fallen.
It's on us.
We're sitting in the sky.
You're in a blanket of sky, Doug.
Yeah, it's down, and a lot of people have mentioned and said, you lose 4 of 6. This team has zero confidence. They're broken. They're a shell of themselves. Do you buy that, or is it just a byproduct of what the last couple of weeks have been? Now you get into Oregon tomorrow night. Like, do you think this team is lacking confidence, or has it just been a rough stretch of college basketball?
No, I don't think they lack confidence. This is one of the most confident teams that I've covered for a Brad Underwood team at Illinois. I don't think that's it. And I don't want to sound like a fanboy and a Pollyanna, but this guy's not falling. They just played, in my opinion, one of the top 3 teams, maybe even the best team in the country. And like I said, they expose your weaknesses, and you got to bounce back from that. And step back, look at the big picture. When they're really good offensively, they're the best team in the country, on offense, and can really score the basketball. I think when you get away from the grind of the Big Ten, and not as much as it used to be because you don't play teams, everybody twice like you used to, but the grind of the Big Ten and scouting at this time of year, into February, beginning of March, really kind of grinds games to a halt, and you got to execute in the half court, and you got to be physical, and that has got to them a little bit. But you get through this Big Ten tournament and have a good showing, and then when you start facing teams that you haven't faced before, I think it'll loosen things up, and you'll see that really, really good Illinois offense come back again.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. Doug Bouchon from Orange and Blue News on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Doug, you're always writing something. Or what articles are you working on right now coming out of today's presser with Underwood? Do you have anything coming out today or tomorrow?
Yeah, we got senior day. We got a story on Kylan Boswell. He's got a good story. You know, he initially went to Arizona. He's from Urbana, so story on him coming home to play. And then Ben Hummerkaus, who's another good story. Started out at a low level, you know, with Evansville, transferred to Illinois, and came here as a spot up shooter. You know, and really has progressed his game over the last year and a half or so, and is kind of doing a little bit of everything for him now, and you know, getting some things out of him that you didn't expect. You know, he's hitting the glass, he's defending on the perimeter. So we got a story on him, and then we're going to preview the Oregon game and offer up our keys of the game and make a prediction for that. And then tons of football stuff coming up. You know, spring practice starts the week of March 23rd.
Yep.
You got a whole bunch of new coaches, and we get to meet those guys starting on Thursday. We're going to have press conferences meeting with Ronnie Bradford and Roger Cooper, Jordan Thomas, Tyrone Wheely, all those guys. Plenty of content on that. And then we got to start talking to the incoming transfers. Pretty good group. Caden Hauser, the quarterback, of course, is the one everybody wants to know about. But we get to start talking to those guys on Friday.
Did you get to check out any of, you mentioned Caden Hauser, so my mind went to Altmaier for a second. Did you get to check out anything from the Combine over the weekend? And if you did, what did you think about what you saw?
I didn't make the trip to Indy, but everything that was available, I watched. And, you know, he always represents his school really well. Just a really good dude. And I think he surprised some teams with his arm talent. You know, you look at his film and stuff, and you think, well, maybe some throws float or he doesn't deliver the deep ball. But I think he did pretty well with his arm talent, and he's a good athlete. You know, he can run, he can move. So, you know, I think he helped himself at the Combine this week. Now, Gabe Atkins didn't do a whole lot of working out. He didn't run, didn't do position drills, but he, you know, made a really good showing with the bench press. And from a physical standpoint, the scouts take one look at that guy and they're like, yeah, it's a first or second round type of guy. So, and then J.C. Davis, the offensive tackle, was over there also. Didn't hear a whole lot about him, but I think he's another guy who's probably going to get drafted, you know, maybe in the later rounds, 5th through 7th round.
Doug, keep up the great work, man. Looking forward to talking to you again very soon.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, that's Doug Bouchon from Orange and Blue News on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line, 217-359-2255. Not Carmen in Fisher wants to know if you did throw up in your pants the other night.
Merez hit that 3 in the corner, and I didn't. It took everything within me to hold it in, but there was some.
Well, you were at the game, right? You were there.
I was there.
Okay,
yes.
So what did you eat at State Farm Center? Did you have a hot dog or something while you're there? I'm just thinking about what you might have thrown up in your lap in front of everyone if you. I'm glad you didn't. First of all,
I didn't.
Especially
I don't think I ate
coming
anything,
off, you coming off the flu bug, man. I was a little worried.
Would have been interesting. Would have been interesting, but yeah.
I'm glad you didn't. So there you go. Not Carmen and Fisher. He didn't do it. He's okay. He's doing just fine.
I'm okay now.
217-359-2255. That's your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Joe in Springfield, John in Camargo, we see your text. We're going to get to all of that and plenty more before we get to the top of the next hour. So lots of stuff to get to. Also, you have an incredible combination of snacks here today. I don't want to say what they are yet. But I'm telling you, if we don't put this on social media,
I feel like it's not that wild.
It's so cool to me, though. I can't explain. Like, there's something about it that makes me go, yeah, that's my dude Evan Stone right there, buddy. That's the man. I'm serious.
Okay, well, I'll take it. I appreciate it.
Right.
I feel like it's a good combo.
Oh, and by the way, one other thing, we've got tickets to give away for tomorrow night's game. We got to do that soon. So, plenty to get to next on the drive.
How do you tell the younger ones that you just got to hang in there?
My best advice to the young officers is just be yourself, be able to communicate with people, talk to people, treat people how you want to be treated, and you're going to get that respect back eventually. I mean, you earn that respect over time, just doing things the right way.
Chad Burnett is a force at school. What is it about it that you like about the job?
The school resource officer job is great. You just build relationships on a daily basis with students, staff, parents. You're always striving to see that growth growth in the students. It's a challenge sometimes to see that, but I've been fortunate enough to be there for 6 years now, and I've seen a lot of strides being made within the district and within the building itself. I'd actually like to shout out our administration and our deans. They do a great job of being proactive and staying ahead of any issues we may have, and they work extremely hard.
Officer Chad Burnett, Urbana Police Department, they say humble, kind, fair, patient, trustworthy. Pretty cool.
That's the way I want to be known.
Jesse with Lands Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Lands Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Lands Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Looking for a fun and affordable way to spend spring break? Head to the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center, located at 102 East Michigan Avenue. From March 16th through the 20th, enjoy public swim daily from 1:30 to 5 p.m. Admission is just $6 per swimmer and only $3 for spectators. In a zero-depth pool, perfect for the little ones. While you're there, grab your membership for the outdoor pool and get ready for summer. For more information, call 217-384-7665 or visit urbanaparks.org. From the Urbana Park District, you belong here.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Former Illini Terrence Shannon Jr. of the Minnesota Timberwolves about Ben Quattrone from Sarah Champagne. What kind of friend has he been?
Unbelievable. Ever since I came to this dealership, me and Ben had interactions. He's been a great person this whole time. It still is. I always would recommend him to anybody about a car or anything. He's always going to be there for you no matter what. He always be behind you. He's just a great person.
Visit sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Did not realize we were going from My Lovely Wife to one of us dying.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Hey, it's going to happen.
It jumped up a notch. It did, didn't it?
Well, you know, it just...
that one made me a little lightheaded.
I was like, she is lovely. And then you started reading. I was like, whoa.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
And by the way, you better get your will ready, buddy.
One of us is the inevitable is coming.
You're all cursed.
It'd be like, and for all those Cardinals players I invested in back in 2026.
This is what we play for. We make good money, but this is what we play for.
I leave those to my wife. Thank you, Busey. ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Thank you for spending some of your Monday with us. And that really did make me lightheaded the other day when we had that conversation.
Well, I just, sometimes it's always fun trying to figure out what our transitions to different reads are going to be.
Yeah.
And so when you think about investing and what Busey does for us, it's like, yeah, our lovely family, our wife. And then you start the read and it's like, oh, this is about death.
This is about estate planning, yeah. Yeah, we'll do that in the next hour. Well, if you're curious about that.
It's good. It's good.
Who are you going to leave your frosted mini wheats to after you're gone?
Oh, they'll be gone.
You're taking them with you.
I'm taking them with me.
I love this. So Evan brought in a snack. Maybe no one else will appreciate this, but I sure do, because he came in with a bag. Clearly he'd been to, it looked like a grocery store. Maybe you were down there. Were you at Casey's, or where did you pick up your snacks for today?
Dollar General.
Just at the DG. He comes in with a bag of groceries, and my man's got 20-ounce Coca-Cola, and he's got some nuts, some cinnamon pecans. But my favorite, he got a large-sized box of Frosted Mini Wheats.
These are just a good... See, now, these will last me the next couple of weeks in here. I'll just be popping through these.
You just got to hide them. That's what you got to do. You got to hide them.
You walk through, and you're just like, okay, I don't want to just get... it's not that I'm trying to be obviously, I'm not trying to be healthy.
Well, no,
Or else I wouldn't get the mini wheats. But at the same time, it's like, okay, a box of frosted mini wheats is probably better than just downing,
yeah,
a lot of other stuff.
Does it go do you chase the mini wheats with a sip of Coca-Cola? Is that good? Have you tried that yet?
I haven't tried that yet. But they're high in fiber, and they support digestive
That's
wellness.
good.
Look how happy this guy is about digestive wellness.
He's a really happy little guy there on the box. Yeah, the
He's
mascot.
having a
They
great
got
time.
a frosted mini wheat mascot now. That's great.
His name's Minnie.
His name is Minnie. Minnie the mascot. Yeah, look at that.
I'm Minnie, you're you, and we're about to seize the day.
There you go.
What a thing. I'm not sponsored by Frosted Mini
No,
Wheats,
he
but
just-
if they would like to jump in.
Just brought in a big box of it. I was like, my man's got frosted mini wheats and Coca-Cola. We are not coping with any loss of the Illini. We're just having some snacks today on the drive. That's what it's about. 217-359-2255. Steve and St. Joe. Not going to win too many games shooting 38%, and your competition shooting 52%. Yeah,
That's true. That's a fair statement.
Can't argue with that on that one.
You gotta win. And then Joe in Springfield and Johnny Camargo.
Yeah.
Do we want to get to both of these?
Yeah. You take
So-
your pick.
Well, they go together, I
Yeah.
think. So Joe in Springfield texts in and says, hey, what are your guys' thoughts about our defense this year? Let me briefly get to that. I think our defense is what our defense is. As brilliant of a thought and as deep as that is.
It's not what it ain't.
Here's the thing is when we play teams that are pretty poor, they rank pretty poor metrically.
Yeah.
Offensively, our defense is smothering. Like we have a great defense against teams that struggle to work together, to move the ball, to hit their shots. We smother them. When we play elite offenses, our defense struggles. So we're right in the middle of the road, it seems, of okay, we can overwhelm people with our length, with our positionless style of defense that anybody can guard anybody. But when you play an elite offense like we saw on Friday night, and we've seen a couple of times this year, there's a lot of deficiencies. There's a lot of holes. There's a lot of miscommunications. If I see, I went to bed Friday night and laying in bed. You know how when you go to the ocean or you're on a boat or something, and then at the end of the day you go back home and you get in bed and you can feel like you're still on the ocean?
No, not all of us have been able to go visit the ocean in our lives. No, that must be nice. No, I'm joking. I know what you
So
mean.
I got in bed Friday night, and I closed my eyes, and I could still see Adimara rolling to the hoop for a wide-open dunk layup. Poor Jake Davis is the only one down there. So it's there's a lot of deficiencies. It is what it is. You hope that teams you're playing have a cold night shooting, or you just come out with a great, oomph about it.
Who would you say is the best defensive player on the Illini team?
I still think it's Kylan.
So do I.
I still think his ability to get physical, to get in front of people, but that's not. This defense is built on the team being cohesive together with their size. That's what makes this defense work the best. It's not one-on-one matchups or whatever. It's when they work together, and that's what seems to really struggle when you go up against an elite offense. And there were multiple times Friday night, and I'm not a college basketball coach. I'm not an analyst in that kind of vein. But there was a lot of moments Friday night where it did look like some of the guys on the defensive end of the floor were a little overwhelmed, maybe by the moment, by what was happening, by the action, the movement. There was some communication breakdowns, and Kylan even came out afterwards and said, I cannot play like that again. I cannot let the team down like that again on both sides of the floor. And then that leads into Johnny Camargo text, because we had a conversation last week where he I'm gonna preface it, or I'm gonna what is it when you take something that's
You're
long
summarizing.
I'm gonna summarize it.
Yeah.
Where basically his thing is hey, we shoot better from 2 than from 3, so we should shoot less 3s and more 2s. And I jokingly said, I hope we shoot more 3s.
You got your wish.
Which was, kind of a joke, but also not really. And so John texts in, says, Evan, on Friday when replying to my text, hoping Illinois would shoot many fewer 3s because they aren't good at them, you stated, I hope they shoot more 3s. What basketball logic are you using when you make that statement, knowing that in 21 to 29 games, 21 out of 29 games. I don't actually understand what he's saying there, but 72%, they have shot less than 40%. In other words, how would shooting more threes and missing 69% of them, have increased the Illini's chances of beating Michigan? I don't think whether you shot more threes or less threes on Friday night was going to increase your chance of beating Michigan. It was the defensive end.
So what John's saying is in 72% of their games, they've shot less than 40%.
Okay, now I'm tracking.
So now he says, so basically 3 out of 4 games, you're
shooting
you're shooting under 40%.
Yeah, but if this team shoots, anywhere between 34 and 39% from 3, you would think they're coming out pretty successful.
Well.
So flip side, my basketball logic within that is that this is not what that team is built for. This team's identity, these players individually, if you want more shots at the rim, you want more shots, in the paint, under the hoop, that's just not what this team does. That's not what they're built for. And if you look at Friday night against Michigan, that wouldn't have helped. I mean, anytime everything was a battle inside. And you know what they got? They got open shots.
Well, here's what I would say to the original question about what they struggle with defensively. It's very rare that Illinois meets anybody that matches size with them, Evan. And they did the other night, and you got pantsed. And that seems to be where the big struggle is. We've talked a lot about guards that can drive, like the struggle with name a guard that they've struggled with, whether that's Dent or whoever they played this year and they struggled with. The rare occasions where they've had to match size in the post, it's been a rough one. That's when you've seen them lose battles on the board. They've won games, but they lose those battles on the board. And now you're in this run of 4 and 6. And so, yeah, I understand the concerns. And so then when I look at somebody like Nate Biddle, I mean, does he have the cast around him that Mara had? No. Or, that Yaks had. Pick any of those 3 guys, Yaks, Mara, and Merez. No, he doesn't. Biddle doesn't have that cast around him, but he's going to cause problems on tomorrow night, on Tuesday night.
My thing with this team, and even when you look at shooting 2s versus shooting 3s, a 3-pointer for this team with their rebounding skills and the way they chase after rebounds, a 3-pointer is either a made shot and you get 3 points, or it's essentially an entry pass. That's how they view a lot of this offense. Like, your 3-point shot is an entry pass because you're so good at rebounding. So many of those 2s that you're looking at shoot well.
That's the logic.
So many of those 2s that you've hit have come off of offensive rebounds, and you're wide open down there, whatever. Matt and Sydney says, I don't know the X's and O's, but why don't we post our 7-footers and say stop us? Because they're not post-up players. Like, they don't have – like, a post-up 7-footer is a skill. That's a skill a 7-footer has, to be able to put his back to the basket and say, okay, it's not simply just I'm taller than you and I'm going to back in. Sometimes it is. I mean, Z did that a couple of times the other night when a smaller guy got switched on him and he just went down because he was bigger.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're going to be a post player with your back to the hoop, you need 3, 4, 5 good post moves to keep the defense guessing. Otherwise, they're just going to root you out. They're just going to whatever. And that's just not what we do well. That's just not what our 7-footers can do.
It's not what the offense is predicated on, and I know you and I differ on this a little bit, but boy, I'd like to see Tommy a lot more in the post, because I do think he has a better post game than we have seen, and it is a little frustrating for me at times but that's part of his game. Crane can 3. I get it.
Here's the flip side.
It's an NBA offense, and you're right. It's predicated on winning the offensive rebound battle.
And the flip side is if you're posting your 7-footers in the paint, Keaton's not driving. Keaton's not doing Keaton stuff. And so part of the success of Keaton Wagler that we love is that you get your 7-footer out there screening for him, and then you let him work in space and you hunt the matchups. That's what this team is. Now, if you want to get rid of all of that and scrap it and post Tommy down low, which I don't think Tommy wants to do either, and that's not going to help Tommy get to the NBA.
No, he likes this offense.
He loves it. And this is the offense that is going to get Tommy to the NBA.
Yeah.
Tommy posting up is not going to do him any wonders in getting a look at the league in a year or two.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the days of this is top of the top, but the days of a center like Shaq are kind of gone in the world of college basketball, and they have been for a while.
They're absolutely gone.
Those days are kind of gone, and even with a guy like Mara, who's 7'4", and just was almost impossible to guard in the post, he's still not the traditional big as well. He's still not the traditional back you down and beat you. So 217-359-2255. We got a couple of seconds before we get to news, and we've got plenty of text to talk about as well. And also, there's a couple of weeks ago we talked about From the Office of Evan Stone.
Yeah, a lot started happening and went down, and it got put on the back burner, but it's back.
It's back. And if you're not familiar, we are going to reintroduce you to that coming up in the next hour. Plus, we'll do some Etched in Stone as well. It's going to be a very Evan-heavy next hour, I think.
That's what...
you were going to make it, that's what she said joke, weren't you?
No,
All right, time for news. It's The Drive.
This is a Fox News alert. 2 more American lives lost on Lisa Brady. Central Command just confirming that at least 6 U.S. service members have been killed since Operation Epic Fury began in Iran after 2 service members previously unaccounted for were found dead in a facility that was struck during Iran's initial attacks in the region. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the operation is targeting the missile and drone programs Iran was hoping to use as a shield for its nuclear program.
There would come a point where they have so many conventional missiles, so many drones, and it can inflict so much damage that no one can do anything about their nuclear program. That is what they were trying to do.
Just before a briefing with several top congressional leaders, Rubio telling reporters there was an imminent threat from Iran.
Imagine a year from now or a year and a half from now the capabilities they would have to inflict damage on us. It's an unacceptable risk, especially in the hands of a regime that's run by radical clerics.
Also arguing that President Trump did not need approval from Congress to attack Iran. Some lawmakers aren't so sure. And Colorado Democratic Congressman and veteran Jason Crow tells Fox, while the regime is horrible, the analysis shouldn't stop there.
Because Americans that can't afford to buy homes right now, can't afford their groceries, can't afford their health care, want us to go that second step and ask that question, do we have to use the military for everything? Or can we end this cycle of endless conflict?
President Trump, though, calling this the last best chance to strike, adding the operation could last several weeks or more.
Right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it.
He also has not ruled out boots on the ground. The president also says annihilating Iran's navy is part of the goal. Iran threatening ships in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical passage for oil. Oil prices surging past $71 a barrel. Natural gas prices in Europe hit harder after Iranian attacks on a major supplier in Qatar. America is listening to Fox News.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever, best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday. Let's do this Monday. ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
As Iran strikes back in the Middle East, a case of friendly fire taking down several U.S. fighter jets in Kuwait.
The U.S. military says Kuwaiti air defenses mistakenly shot down 3 American F-15E Strike Eagle aircraft. There's video appearing to show at least 1 jet plummeting to Earth. The 6 pilots ejected safely. They're in a stable condition in the hospital. We're told the incident happened during combat, including attacks from Iranian aircraft, ballistic missiles and drones. Also in Kuwait today, smoke seen rising from the U.S. Embassy compound. Americans based there had been warned to take cover and others told to stay away. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
No American casualties reported at that embassy. Police and federal investigators in Texas say the gunman who opened fire outside an Austin bar over the weekend was not on their radar before the attack, which remains under investigation as a possible act of terrorism.
So any act of targeted violence, which is what this was, we're going to pursue all investigative lines, right? And that is certainly one of them, along with multiple other avenues of where this could go, right? It's always very difficult to determine what's in an individual's mind that leads them to commit this type of violence.
The gunman was killed. The FBI's acting San Antonio special agent in charge, Alex Duran, says any speculation on motive would be premature. The shooter was a naturalized citizen originally from Senegal. 2 people were killed, 14 others wounded. Police say 1 is expected to be taken off life support today. A House panel investigating Jeffrey Epstein just releasing hours of videos of former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton answering questions about the late convicted sex offender during last week's depositions to the House Oversight Committee. A mixed start to March on Wall Street. The Dow down 73 points, pairing heavier losses, but the S&P and the Nasdaq both finishing in the green. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
When sewer or septic trouble hits, visit Berg Sewer and Septic. Family owned and proudly serving Central Illinois, Berg specializes in sewer repair, septic service, water line repairs, sump pumps, and drainage solutions. They don't upsell, they solve the problem right the first time. From backups to breakdowns, count on Central Illinois' most trusted septic service. Berg Sewer and Septic. Dependable, honest, local. Get a second opinion you can trust. Visit bergtanksinc.com.
There is one name you need to know in car repair in the Central Illinois area, and that's John Marshall. John is the owner of PDR Automotive in Urbana and makes it his mission to know that your car will start when you come to pick it up. John strives for a repair in the most efficient time possible and is the right person to take care of your car. From tires to engine to electrical to the simple oil change. Trust in John at PDR. 1008 North Cunningham in Urbana. John's team will take care of you like family.
Looking for the perfect pair of boots? Come on down to Pard's Western Shop in Urbana. With an amazing selection that fits every style, Pard's has the perfect pair waiting for you the next time you're hitting the rodeo or stepping out in style. They've got great deals and sale prices on men's cowboy boots, girls' cowgirl boots, and kids' boots. And their friendly staff will make sure you leave with the boots you love. Pard's Western Shop, serving its customers with high-quality merchandise since 1968. Go see them today at 306 North Maple Street in Urbana.
Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting want to send you to the next Fighting Illini home basketball game. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 and you could be on your way to State Farm Center. Stop by Parlor Donuts in the Old Farm Shops on Kirby and Madison Champaign before the game to try their layered donuts, cold brews, blended treats, and more. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 to win tickets with Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting.
Maybe we should talk about the quality you get at Ashley Home Store, not just stylish, but quality.
We have one of the most amazing brands. We are quality first, and because we are the largest producer of furniture in North America, we have to produce at the highest standard. So we're quality checking everything, up to 300 pounds on all of our reclining furniture. I've been to the factory, I've seen how they do the quality testing, and it's pretty impressive. It's kind of furniture nerdy, but I think it's pretty fun to see how they go above and beyond. So the highest quality steel, they make their own foam, they make their own mattresses. It's the most vertically integrated furniture company in the world.
Do people understand when you go to Ashley Furniture the selection?
We have a lot of furniture we don't even feature probably 50% of what's available by Ashley in our stores, but we have 40,000 square foot showrooms. And here in Champaign, we have one of our largest showrooms. So we have all the categories: living room, bedroom, dining, mattress, home office, kids, furniture, you name it. Our website is ashley.com.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Welcome back into The Drive. It is ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Had a little snow this morning when we got up. I was like, come on now.
A lot of ice.
Yeah.
Couldn't find my ice scraper.
No. How'd you get by?
I felt like I was in high school again with my driver's license.
Did you scrape it fast and then watch yourself to make sure you didn't have an accident? Or
I did.
See what
with
I did
a
there?
CD.
Scrape it fast.
Yeah.
But you watch yourself.
Ha!
See what I did there?
I do. I do see.
And now you're going to show us what you're working with here on The Drive. So a couple weeks ago, we had this wacky idea to take things
wacky
from the no, it's a genius idea is really what it is, from the office of Evan Stone. Now, would you say this is an analytical sort of thing, or what do we do? You as an owner or a GM,
so
you're running the show.
If you put me in House Hall,
oh yeah,
gave me Ryan Pohl's job, more likely a controller for a PlayStation 5.
Okay.
And I'm playing Madden. And I'm trying to figure out, what are the Chicago Bears going to do this offseason? There's a lot of questions. You were I don't know if I would say you were a great team this past year. You were a really good team.
You're good. You're pretty good. Not a great defense, really good offense.
You were ahead of schedule. You had multiple games that you pulled out that you shouldn't have. But you did. And you cannot rely on that same thing coming into this next year.
True. I agree.
So you got a lot of questions coming in. How do you take that next step? I love what Ben Johnson said. We're not trying to build on anything. It's a new year.
It's a whole new year.
It's a whole new year. So go ahead.
Well, what I'm going to do, this is going to be, because it's a new segment, and I think we should treat it with the respect of all of our segments as we do around here on The Drive.
Okay.
We have some fun.
What?
This is the world premiere of the new intro song for you, sir, and from the office of Evan Stone. It's so new, not even I have heard it.
I know everything about sports, all of the sports. I know everything about sports, football, baseball, basketball. I know everything about sports, hockey, tennis, soccer, golf. I know everything about sports from the office of Evan Stone. I know everything about
All right, there it is. He knows everything about sports.
What the hell?
Oh, no. This is way better than I expected it to be.
What? Bocce ball.
Cricket? Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I had fun with this.
Are we just yelling? Curling!
Yeah, I said we got to get curling in there.
Hard!
So there you go. That is the new song from the office.
What a time to be alive.
Evan Stone.
What a time to be alive. Okay, how long you been sitting on that?
A couple weeks now, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Since before the Olympics, at least.
Well, the song's not wrong. I know everything about sports. So, good grief.
Yeah, I knew you'd appreciate that.
That was good. I would like for you to send me that. So, okay, anyways, what we were talking about from the office of Evan Stone. Listen, this is just fun. Because anytime you start to look at rosters and offseason moves, and it's all total guesswork.
Yeah.
There's so much happening behind the scenes that we're not privy to. We don't understand the ins and outs, finances, all that stuff. However, I took a stab at it.
Okay.
The Bears offseason, what do we need to do? So I went through cuts, because you're in rough cap space right now.
Big time. You're right.
Cuts, contract restructures, trades, the NFL draft, and free agent signings.
It was just last week the Bears announced Tremaine Edmonds. They're going to give him the opportunity to seek a trade. So
they're letting him seek a trade currently. I'm not sure. We're gonna work under the understanding that there will not be a trade for that. So this was with 0 trade offers coming in and me seeking trades on the back end. So right now, as the Chicago Bears sit, you're negative $6.5 million in the red.
Okay, so we're in the hole.
So you're in the hole. So the first thing you got to start working at and start looking at is cuts. How are we going to start cutting some money so that we can make some room? So the way that I worked through this is I ended up having 13 cuts. Okay. Now a lot of those cuts are going to be guys that will come back on the practice squad, but they save you $1 million here, $900,000 there, all that good stuff. People like tight end Nikola Kalinick. Yeah, we don't even know who he is. But by cutting him, you save $1.1 million.
Get rid of him.
So look at that. Now we're at 5.5.
All right.
So
give him a heater. Get him out of here.
That's not what we're going to do.
Oh.
That's not what we're going to do.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I mean, that is what we're going to do. I'm not going to go through all of those. Here's the big ones.
Okay.
The first cut that you make is Roschon Johnson. So didn't work out.
Yeah, Roschon didn't. He never panned out with the Bears, did he?
It was a tantalizing athlete, running back coming out of Texas, but it didn't work out. Cutting him, you save $1.1 million. You're going to cut your guard depth piece, Kieran Amagadije.
Boy, that was a Ryan Poles pick too. He really liked him. He really wanted to keep him.
Third round pick, something like that.
Gave up a prime spot for him.
Yep, you're going to go ahead and cut him. That'll save $1 million. And then you're going to cut Tremaine Edmonds. And cutting Tremaine Edmonds is going to save you $14.9 million in cap space.
Okay.
So with that and then all the other kind of, backup cuts, you end up finding yourself at about $20-25 million in the red or in the black.
All right.
So, we got something to work with.
So now you got a little, that'll get you a decent free agent.
Well, you always need about 10 to 15 million for your draft class.
Okay, 15 million is what we're working with.
So then we need to restructure. Let's figure out who are guys that are in long-term plans that we think are going to be around for a while.
You thinking Montez?
We'll restructure their deal. We'll back end some of it, and we'll save some cap space this year. I got 4 guys, 4 contract restructures.
Okay.
Number 1, Joe Thuney. I think that's a guy that is set here for the next several years at least. I'm hoping he'll retire a Bear.
Well, that would be really nice.
That's the goal. And so we're going to go ahead and restructure his contract. Drew Dahlman is number 2, your center.
Guys you just signed. You're going to restructure already, huh?
Yeah, we're going to restructure them because by doing that, you're gonna save tons of cap space.
Okay.
So it's still money they're getting, but you're moving it around so that you have some room to work for this season.
Okay.
Okay. Tracking with me?
I'm with you.
Jalen Johnson. You're going to try and restructure Jalen's deal.
Didn't you just give him an extension though?
You did. But it doesn't do anything. Like, he still gets his money.
Okay.
So it's not like you're telling them to take less money.
No.
You're not saying less money. You're moving where the money comes in on their contract.
All right.
So it's instead of it being broken up over the next 4 years, you're taking some of the money for this year and you're putting it on year 4. So it's still going to them. It's just not
wink
in this cap space moment.
Yeah.
And then finally Montez Sweat. You're going to restructure Montez's deal.
That's when you got to.
Yep.
You
so
got
now,
to do it.
if you do those restructures and those 13 cuts, you end up with around $35 to $40 million of cap space. Okay?
Not bad.
Still not a huge number.
But not bad.
But now you can start working with stuff. You ready for some trades?
I know one of the trades you're going to make. I think.
I didn't do it.
You didn't? You're not trading DJ Moore?
Well, I am.
Okay.
What the hell?
But not who you think.
No.
Because the big name that's been floated out there with DJ is
Max Crosby.
Max Crosby.
Yeah.
I don't think the Raiders are going to trade Max Crosby.
I think that the tag is that they want the price tag's too high.
And if they do trade Max Crosby, I think it's going to be too high.
Yeah.
And I think someone else might swoop in and be able, whether it's, there's a couple of other teams floating out there, but we're worried about the Bears right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a smaller trade.
Ooh.
We are trading Cole Kmet.
Ooh.
Cole Kmet is going to the Denver Broncos.
They do need a tight end.
For a 3rd-round pick and a 4th-round pick in the upcoming draft.
Now, for the analytics of this, did you make this? Is this just like you're making this up? You're not just making up.
No, there's a couple great websites out there that keep track of your cap space.
Are you doing like Pro Football Focus and some of that stuff?
So there's a lot of Pro Football Focus.
Yeah.
There's a wonderful website called sticktothemodel.com that keeps track of all the cap space. You can go through the whole offseason. You can re-sign players.
And that's why I bring that up. I wasn't being a smart aleck. The whole point is that Evans he really has put in effort on this. He's really put in time and energy on it, and is making the math work.
No, this is good stuff. So we are trading Cole Kmet for a 3rd-rounder and a 4th-rounder.
You got a Bo leave, baby. That would be big for Bo Nix to get a weapon like Cole.
That'd be good for
Bo.
Bo.
A win for everybody.
It also takes about $11 million back into our cap space. Ooh. So it saves us about $11 million.
Mm-hmm.
And we get some draft capital. And Cole Kmet is now, I love Cole. I do. He's a favorite of mine on this team. But with Colston, with some of the pieces you have, he becomes a little bit of excess. So you have an opportunity to bring in some draft capital while also clearing some space in your salary cap.
Well, if you get a 3rd back for him, then that replaces whatever you gave up with Kieran Amagaji. So that's all right.
So now to replace something, we're going to look around the league. Who's trying to create cap space? Who's in a little bit of a rebuild mode that maybe we can get some guys? So they're the other teams that are trying to clear space. Ready?
I'm ready. Well, I've got a team in mind, but I don't want to say. Go ahead.
Green Bay. We're not going to be making any deals with freaking Green Bay.
We don't make deals with terrorists.
Them nothing.
Go on.
Kansas City, Buffalo, Houston, Detroit, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Cleveland, Minnesota, and Dallas. All those teams need to clear space. They're over the limit.
And they've all got pieces on defense that could help the Bears. Yeah.
Yes. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a 5th-round pick, and we're going to send it to Cleveland for Harold Fanon Jr.
Not who I thought. I was hopeful you were going to just say, hey, this math works out that you get Myles Garrett for a 5th-round pick, but that's not what happened there. No, Harold Fanon Jr. is a really underrated tight end.
So he's 22, 23 years old. He is kind of mid-metrics as a tight end as a whole, but he's a little bit higher when it comes to blocking. So you want Colston to be freed up just to be able to get out there. We're running a lot of two tight end sets.
Right.
One of my re-signs that you're going to see here in a bit, we're going to re-sign players. Durham Smythe, I want to bring back, even though...
I think you just like his name.
I do. But send a 5th-round pick because we just got another 3rd and a 4th. So you send a 5th away. You bring in a young tight end that is a better blocker than Colston Loveland, and can kind of fill that Cole Kmet role that just for way cheaper, for $10 to $11 million cheaper, and you bring in, and he's a great athlete. So there you go. Now the big trade. You send DJ Moore and a 5th-round pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for Vita Vea.
Okay.
And their 5th-round pick. So you swap 5ths, and you bring in Vita Vea, who's one of the, I think he's the 10th rated defensive tackle in the National Football League.
He's a guy
he comes in. He's 30 years old.
I'm thinking through this off the top of my head. Okay, keep going.
He comes in. You restructure his contract or his deal, and so you save some money there. I think the biggest hole on this Bears defense, everyone wants to talk edge. Everyone wants to talk edge. Everyone wants to talk edge.
They don't have a I mean, Grady
defensive
Jarrett.
Tackle.
Yeah, Grady Jarrett was supposed to be the guy, but yeah, go on.
Well, no, yeah, Grady Jarrett, you brought in a ton. You spent a lot of money on that guy.
Vita Vea is a guy. Here's what I was working through in my brain. That's a guy, if you make that move and you do bring him in, he takes a lot of pressure off of Grady Jarrett. And does Javon Dexter fit into all this as well?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's where I was going. So that's a guy as well that you're freeing them up. You'd be bringing in Vita for a very specific role as a space eater on that defensive line.
The Bears were one of the worst in the National Football League at simply just stopping the run, plugging the run in the middle. What you really want to be able to do with this team is, man, you've got to get teams to 3rd and long. You got to stop losing on 1st and 2nd down. And the defensive tackles they have, we're going to let Andrew Billings walk, so he's out of here.
Yeah, and I expected
Chris
that
Williams
to happen anyways.
is going to walk,
Yeah.
and so he's out of here. And so you bring in Vita Vea, a great veteran, awesome defensive tackle. And you're gonna get him for the next 2 to 3 years. He's gonna plug the middle for you. He's a bigger need on this team right now for a win now moment in Caleb's rookie deal than DJ Moore is. So you then free up quite a bit of room of cap space with DJ Moore out the door. You bring in a piece that you really need in this win now, the short window that you have of Caleb's rookie deal.
Yeah.
You bring in a piece that you need, and you can still keep that offense rocking and rolling with Rome and Luther and Colston and DeAndre and Kyle and
now you brought in Harold Fannin Jr.
And a couple of other moves we're going to get to here in a minute. But you know who really helps you with great moves? When you're looking at making moves,
listen,
it's not just about sitting in the office of Evan Stone. There's another office that can help you out.
You're talking about the office of Busey. That's what you're talking about. That's the one you're talking about, buddy. And our friends at Busey, whether you want to travel or move to a warmer climate and maybe invest in a hobby, they've got you covered. They can help you with your dreams for retirement, whatever that might be. Experts at Busey Wealth Management recommend saving 10 to 15% of your annual income to help you achieve those dreams. So what is the best savings choice, a 401k or an IRA? That's an individual retirement account. A 401k is an employer-sponsored retirement saving plan. Consider an individual retirement account or an IRA. That's a personal retirement savings plan that complement your employer-sponsored retirement savings plan as well. Plus, it offers other tax benefits. There are two types of IRAs, traditional and Roth IRAs. You've probably heard of both. They can help you understand both and what is best for you. If you're trying to decide between a traditional or a Roth, utilize the financial calculator in the Resource Center at Busey.com. You can also talk to Busey Wealth Management's professionals. They'll help you determine which IRA is best for your savings strategy, whether retirement is approaching or many years away. Busey Wealth Management can develop a strategy to meet your unique needs. Call 1-800-67-BUSEY or visit any Busey location in Central Illinois today. Investment products and services are not FDIC insured, may lose value, no bank guarantee. In the drive, thanks Busey for being one of our sponsors. Thank you very much. And now, are we going back to the offices of Evan Stone?
If we can.
Well, you know what? We can. But we do need to catch a quick break.
Yeah.
So here's where we're leaving it right now. What moves do we need to address in the next break?
So when we come back,
or in the next segment, rather,
we're gonna re-sign guys that are now technically free agents that are currently on the Bears roster. We're gonna look at the free agent market, and then we're gonna go to the NFL draft.
Let's do that next on The Drive.
So we like talking to Gale Frericks Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, the two businesses you guys run. So talk to me about Gale Frericks Trucking. Why do your drivers like driving for you?
I think because we care about them getting home and having a home life as well as making money, and that they're allowed to be safe.
How about Dedicated Diesel? Who should know about that?
Oh, anybody with a truck or trailer that they work with. We're open now for federal inspections. We can do those. Dedicated Diesel, I've got a couple of great new guys in there, and Melissa's helping on the front end, and I just couldn't be happier with the way things have progressed and the improvements that we've made.
Well, thank you for putting trucks out there that are safe, and you have drivers that are trained up and experienced.
And keeping the rigs up when it comes to those safety stickers with that safety lane service.
Yeah, every month we have a list of annual inspections that Donna puts out to the guys at Dedicated Diesel, and they have to get those inspections done.
That's Dedicated Diesel and Gale Frericks Trucking with Tim Onstadt. Good work.
Hi, this is Damon Hackelman, owner of Clean Ride in Champaign. When disaster strikes your home or business, you have choices for emergency restoration services in Champaign County, and we're honored every time you choose us. At Clean Ride, you're not calling a big national chain, you're calling a family-owned and operated company with deep roots right here in the community. We treat every customer like a neighbor, because chances are you are. Whether it's water damage, fire, storms, or unexpected emergencies, our certified and experienced technicians are ready with a 24/7 rapid response. We work alongside trusted expert partners to make the restoration process smooth and stress-free, guiding you every step of the way. Our goal is simple: to return your home or business to safe, clean, like new condition as quickly and painlessly as possible. Learn more or request services anytime at cleanright.net. CleanRight, restoring properties and peace of mind across Champaign County.
Wouldn't it be nice to visit a car dealership where you didn't feel like you were at an auction? Or didn't feel like you were being taken to the cleaners?
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne. At Sarah, they offer a one-price promise. Every vehicle at a fair price, no negotiation, only the best price. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, GMC, Buick, and Subaru. SERRA Champagne.com.
Within the cities we call home, Busey Bank is more than a name. It's a commitment to your dreams. With Busey, trusted guidance is tailored to empower you every step of the way. Whether it's seamlessly managing your finances or planning for your future, Busey is dedicated to your financial success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Welcome back into the Drive on ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Hope you're having a great Monday. Appreciate you spending some time with us. And if you're just joining us, if you missed it, brand new segment. We've been talking about it on air a little bit here and there over the last few weeks, but from the office of Evan Stone.
From the office of Evan Stone, we're running through the Bears offseason. Through their needs. So far, we've cut a bunch of guys. Biggest cut been Tremaine Edmonds. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, Tremaine.
I know he's listening.
He is. Big fan.
We made a couple trades. Cole Kmet and DJ Moore are out the door. We picked up some draft capital and a veteran defensive tackle in Vita Vea, which I really like that move.
I like that move, too. So far, I'm enjoying the office of Evan Stone.
And so now we're going to get to re-signing some guys, looking at free agents in the NFL draft. I do want to address 217 texter just texted in. Didn't the cap just go up $22 million? It did. For the first time in NFL history, the salary cap for the NFL is over $300 million. So this is all with that in mind. So the Bears were 6.5 over the salary cap million. That's with the increase of $22 million.
Incredible.
So they were
the
they
numbers
were still,
are just beyond me.
They were still over the limit even with the increase. So and some Illini good news, real life. This is not just fake from the office of Evan Stone. Congrats, because Nick Allegretti with the Washington Commanders signed a new 2-year deal. So he's going to stick with Washington.
Way to go, Nick.
So good for him.
That is good for him. And that is not from the office of Evan Stone.
No, that's real life. No, I would have done that.
Of course you would have.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
I would have done that.
It'd be crazy not to.
All right, so you got some guys on this Chicago Bears roster that are going to be free agents. Some of the big ones, notable, as we've talked lots about. You've got both your safeties, Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard. You've got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Nashawn Wright are all going to be free agents. We talked about a bunch of the defensive linemen in Andrew Billings and a bunch of those guys. Braxton Jones on the offensive line, Olamide Zaccheaus. These are all guys who are going to be free agents. So the question now is, who do we re-sign and bring back, and who do we allow to leave, to go? So, do you have any thoughts on just personally as a fan, who'd you like to see stay or go? If not, it's totally fine. Putting you on the spot here.
I think Nashawn Wright's probably earned himself the opportunity to get some money somewhere else. I really appreciated what he did for the Bears this past season, but I don't think he's sticking around. I think he's going to test the waters, and rightfully so. He made a name for himself during the second half of the year, and Gardner-Johnson, I think that was a stopgap move that you had to make because you were banged up. I don't think he's sticking around, although he has said he would like to stay in Chicago.
Yeah.
So, he's familiar with Uncle Dennis's system, so maybe he gets a 1 or 2 year deal with the Bears. But I on that one. And we already talked about Billings, I think, was gone.
Yeah. What about the safeties? You have Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker that are both free agents.
There's more upside to Brisker than there is Byard. And I know that might sound weird to a few people because
Brisker had some injury bug issues this past season, but Kevin Byard's about to turn 32. He has been fantastic for the Bears. I don't know what else you're going to get out of him down the stretch. And you're going to probably save a little bit more by letting Byard walk. Yeah, I think I'd probably invest more in Brisker.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But that is not I'm not the one making the business decisions.
Well, let's talk to the guy who knows everything about sports.
Yeah, I'm going to play that song again when we wrap up the segment.
That's going to be me. So here's what we're doing is we got some re-signs right now. The first re-sign we're going to make, it's not a flashy one, but I do think it's an important one. Linebacker DeMarco Jackson. We're going to go ahead and re-sign him because he stepped in valiantly when every single linebacker in the history of the Chicago Bears went down hurt.
It was insane, yeah.
And he stepped in. He knows Dennis Allen in the defense from New Orleans days, and he played really well. And I trust him as a leader. I think he's earned another one-year deal. So we're going to bring DeMarco Jackson back on a one-year deal. We're going to bring Jonathan Owens back on a one-year deal, backup safety, but also a special teams stud.
That's where he really shined.
It felt like almost every kickoff or punt when a tackle was made, Jonathan Owens was right there.
Plus, if you get his wife out to Soldier Field, it kind of balances out the celebrity world with Taylor Swift going to Chiefs games and stuff.
Simone Biles.
Yeah, you bring Simone back in, and that kind of balances things out.
We need, his wife is infinitely more famous and successful than he is, and so we need her in the facility. So we're going to do that. And then another fun one, we're going to re-sign long snapper Scott Daly.
Long snappers
Bring them back, baby.
They need jobs too, brother.
Yes, 3-year deal there. Now, okay, these are the real ones. I am going to go ahead and re-sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Okay.
I'm going to give him a one-year deal and bring him back as a veteran leader, as the guy who made some big plays down the stretch. But also, I think just the guy that you can trust. And when you're talking about small windows, I'm not necessarily concerned about the next 3 years for him. I want him next year.
Right.
So I'm okay with that as you begin to build up the secondary with younger guys around him. Go ahead and bring him back and let him, because he's so versatile as well. You can play him in the slot. You can play him out wide. You can play him in the box and from safety position.
Absolutely.
So I like that flexibility. And then I'm going to go the opposite of you.
Of course you are.
Yeah. I'm going to let Jaquan Brisker walk because he's going to be an incredibly expensive piece. And he's earned it. But I don't think I necessarily want to pay his market value for the injury history and the up and down play that he's had. He's good when he's good, and he kind of struggles when he struggles. So
right.
I'm going to go ahead and let Jaquan Brisker test the market, see what he can do. And if the market comes back low, maybe you throw some deals out at him. But I am going to re-sign Kevin Byard to a 2-year deal. You're going to get him on a 2-year, $9 million deal. Once again, small window. So you're in a win now mode. Go ahead and bring him back. He led the team in interceptions last year, and let's see if he can keep some of that going.
How will you, general manager Evan Stone, handle the backlash when Jaquan Brisker walks and goes to play for the Green Bay Packers?
They can't afford him, so I'm not worried about it.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, they're over the cap.
All right. Well, then the Rams, they just keep spending money, so it'll probably go to the Rams then. Okay, continue.
Okay, so those are our big re-signs. I'm letting Zacchaeus walk. I don't necessarily need him back. I think we can find a wide receiver on the free agent market, which I didn't do in this, but there's wide receivers out there that I think you can bring in. Here's the big free agent move that I'm going to be looking at. Okay,
let's go.
And Big Def and I were texting about it this weekend, so he did steal the light just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw an offer out at Nakobe Dean. So he is a linebacker in Philly that they've added a bunch of guys around him and have kind of replaced him a little bit. He just finished his rookie contract, his rookie deal, I believe. He was a stud linebacker that came out of Georgia. He's a typical inside linebacker. You put him in the box, he makes all the right reads. He's able to fill the hole. He's a gap stuffer. He's a sure tackler, and he still has a ton of upside that I don't think he fulfilled in Philadelphia. He's crazy athletic. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a deal out at Nakobe Dean. I don't think you're going to fill that linebacker role in the draft. and I don't think there's anybody else out there for the price tag that you could get Dean at. And I truly do believe he would step into Chicago and he would be an ultimate Bear.
He would be in the same vein as one Dick Butkus, my friend, Brian Urlacher, Mike Singletary.
That's a guy that I think just feels like Chicago.
Start planning the parade now, my friend.
He reminds me a lot of a guy that, man, he's an awesome linebacker in Baltimore right now that I always wished was a Bear.
Oh,
his name is
that guy, that we drafted.
Yeah, what was
was it Rokan? Ro cannot play here no more. That was his name. He is gone.
I loved Roquan Smith. And bring in Nakobe Dean, and I think he's going to be a stud for that Dennis Allen defense. And then there's some other small free agent moves. We're not going to get to those today. Little, you fill the roster. You bring in some guys that can play, you be your 4th, 5th wide receiver, can help fill in special teams, but in the secondary and all that good stuff. Okay, you ready for the draft?
Are we doing all 7 rounds? Or,
no.
Okay, just the first round?
Well, we're not doing a whole draft. We're just doing the Bears picks where I got their guys.
Okay.
Okay,
all
so
right.
I'm not going to go 1 through 32.
Okay.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, it would.
Not yet.
Oh,
at
my
least.
God.
We'll do that in a couple of weeks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, do you have the draft sound?
Oh, of course I do. It's right here.
First round draft pick for the Chicago Bears at pick number 25. They run the card up to the table, or they call it in. I don't know what they do nowadays anymore.
Yep.
And they're going to draft one defensive tackle, Caleb Banks from Florida.
Oh.
Just a massive human being, 6'6", 330.
So you're getting Vita and you're drafting one.
Yes, we are stuffing that interior of the defensive
And
line.
you're going to rotate with you've got Grady Jarrett.
And you got Grady Jarrett in there.
Javon Dexter.
You don't have to rely so much on Shamar Stewart or Javon Dexter to figure it out. You got all of a sudden this defense in the middle just looks nasty, mean.
Goodness gracious.
Second round. You ready?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Give me a break. You gave me a look. Yeah.
With their second round draft pick, the Chicago Bears are going to draft A.J. Halsey, safety, LSU. So he's going to come in. He's going to fill that back end. He's going to be intense. Third round?
Yeah, huh? Okay, I got you.
In the third round, the Bears are going to draft edge rusher Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State. Had 11.5 sacks this past year.
And happy to get the hell out of Penn State,
and
I'm
happy
sure.
to get the hell out of Happy Valley and show up in Chicago. He's going to be a guy that can come in, and with what you've done so far, you can just hey, dude, go get the quarterback.
So you're going all defense so
go get
far.
Him. Go get him. Go get him. Okay, ready? With their next pick, they're going to draft slot corner Chandler Rivers from Duke.
From Duke.
He's a big physical cornerback that I think you can bring in. You talk about C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You're going to bring him back, give him a year deal. Here's the next C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They have pretty much similar builds. They play very, very similarly, and you're building that depth.
How did he do against Altmaier back in September? Do we remember?
That's just because, Luke Altmaier is the number 1 quarterback in the draft.
All right, continue.
So, yeah. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
With your 4th round pick, because remember we had 2/3.
Yes, I remember.
Your 4th round pick, you draft wide receiver Bryce Lance out of North Dakota State.
Oh, finally we're getting some offense. Okay.
So you get a wide receiver. He's going to come in. He's a 6'4", 6'5" wide receiver with some speed and physicality. He's going to be your deep threat. He's going to replace some of those go up and get them that DJ Moore provided. He's just going to do it about $38 billion cheaper. And in the 5th round, you are going to draft Takario Davis.
Oh, Takario.
Another corner. He's coming. He's going to come and he's going to fill it out. All right, 6th round.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to play the...
You're going to draft another Davis. You better change that music because you're going to draft J.C. Davis out of Illinois.
Whoa!
Offensive tackle. Ozzie
Goodness
Trujillo
gracious.
is your tackle
What
of the
the
future,
hell?
but he's not going to play much this year. It doesn't sound like, if at all.
The Bears are going to draft J.C. Davis, and then
winner. Throw the damn ball.
they'll do it all the time. Okay, so J.C.'s the new left tackle in Chicago.
He's going to be a depth piece. We're going to bring him and Theo Benedette and maybe Joe Tooney figuring out what you do. You're going to fill in that left tackle spot and just let those three guys go out there and figure it out.
So J.C.'s not starting?
I mean, I would like for him to. I think he can.
Fine.
Let it happen.
That's fine.
Let it happen.
All right.
That's all our picks.
That's all the picks. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I forgot that I traded my 7th rounder. So I don't have a 7th round pick.
So when you add all of that up, you know what? I like what you did there, man.
Here's what we did. We cut 13 guys. We restructured 4 contracts. We made one big free agent signing in Nakobe Dean. We re-signed Kevin Byard and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, amongst some others. And we traded for Vita Vea. So now, if you're looking at our defensive team for the Chicago Bears going into this year, you've got, from left to right, Montez Sweat, Caleb Banks, Vita Vea, and Danny Dennis Sutton. You've got on the outside Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and Chandler Rivers. At linebacker, you got Nakobe Dean, T.J. Edwards, and Noah Sewell. You've got C.J. Gardner-Johnson helping to fill out that slot corner and safety with Kevin Byard and A.J. Halsey coming out of LSU.
Good, better, better. Good, better, better. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. It's good gets better. It's good gets better. It better get better. It better get better. There's no 3, 1, 2, 3.
And after all of that, you're in the black, $21 million cap space to make some in-season moves if you need to, and things are looking pretty, and you're winning the Super Bowl.
And that is when we go to the office of Evan Stone.
Everything about sports. Football, baseball.
Just saved the Chicago Bears. He's throwing mini wheats and catching them in his mouth.
That's nice for you to say. I caught one.
ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. That's our new segment from the office of Evan Stone. We'll wrap up the hour next.
All of the sports, everything about sports. Bocce ball, rugby, cricket. I know everything about sports. Shuffleboard, curling, pickleball. I know everything about sports.
Maybe we should talk about the quality you get at Ashley Home Store, not just stylish, but quality.
We have one of the most amazing brands. We are quality first, and because we are the largest producer of furniture in North America, we have to produce at the highest standard. So we're quality checking everything, up to 300 pounds on all of our reclining furniture. I've been to the factory. I've seen how they do the quality testing, and it's pretty impressive. It's kind of furniture nerdy, but I think it's pretty fun to see how they go above and beyond. So the highest quality steel, they make their own foam, they make their own mattresses. It's the most vertically integrated furniture company in the world.
Do people understand when you go to Ashley Furniture the selection?
We have a lot of furniture. We don't even feature probably 50% of what's available by Ashley in our stores, but we have 40,000 square foot showrooms. And here in Champaign, we have one of our largest showrooms. So we have all the categories: living room, bedroom, dining, mattress, home office, kids, furniture, you name it. Our website is ashley.com.
Rescue workers face death every day, and far too often their families lose them while they're helping you on the road. When you see emergency lights flashing, you must slow down and move over to the far lane. That includes red, blue, and orange lights. If you hit someone on the road, you'll be charged with a felony. That means jail time. Help us keep our families safe when we're out helping yours. When the lights are flashing, use caution passing. Let's all go home safe tonight.
Brought to you by Tapman's Towing.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Football season is over, but there's still plenty to bet at Circus Sports. From pro to college basketball, hockey, and everything in between, Circus Sports has it all. Circus Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money line splits, and best of all, no bet fees. Whether you're looking for futures on March hoops, props on your favorite players, and more, Circus Sports has you covered. Download the Circus Sports app or visit circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Let your local Farmers Insurance agent Michael Rumsey put his experience to work for you. Michael Rumsey proudly serves Champaign County families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030 to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Let's talk a little baseball, man. Just a little bit. Just a touch of it. ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. And if you're just joining us, we just did a new segment from the office of Evan Stone, where Evan just saved the Chicago Bears, and they're going to win a Super Bowl now, thanks to him.
You're welcome.
Yep. Having said that, another team that, they're in a rebuild mode, St. Louis Cardinals. Have you seen their special deal that they are launching for this season?
Oh, man.
It looks
good. Awesome.
It's a good deal. No, it really is. So, as the flagship station of the Cardinals in East Central Illinois, I feel compelled to tell you about this. But for this season, the Cardinals are offering the Coca-Cola Unlimited packages starting at just $29 in sections 271 and 272. So if you've ever been to Busch, not bad seats, not terrible sections, right? And that gets you a wristband for up to 3 items per visit from when gates open until the end of the 8th inning. So here's what you can get. You need 3 items. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
It's like a combo meal, except much better. Hot dogs, chicken tenders, brats, nachos, fries, popcorn, peanuts, kettle chips, and ice cream cups. Beer costs extra. And the fans that have seen this got announced yesterday. It's been a really positive response.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There's been a few little here and there, but it's one of those, this is what teams do to get us to come to the ballpark when they know the team's going to suck. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well,
why are you complaining?
You still get to go to the ballpark and have a good time. Yeah, what are you complaining about? Exactly. Yeah. But let's see. There's what else do they have in here? There was another note in here that it's the Reds. They do something similar. It's $26.50, all you can eat spot for the Cincinnati Reds. You know what? I think I'd rather go to Busch.
Yeah, I mean, you can get in Great America for $4.25.
Mm-hmm.
$4.25.
Yeah. No. Not a big fan of Cincinnati, really. Me and Cincy, we got a...
You got some things?
We got a little beef, me and the city of Cincinnati. Yeah.
Huh.
It's a little... It goes back many years. It goes back to... Here's what happened.
Is it because you said Skyline chili sucks?
No, it had nothing to do with the chili.
Because it does.
Yeah, well, it's overrated. But it has nothing to do with the chili. It's really... did you ever go to... Was it not Six Flags? What's the amusement park there?
Oh, it's the one with roller coasters.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It's
in Cincinnati. Kings Island.
Kings Island. That's the one.
Went to Kings Island one time. It was my senior year of high school, and got stuck. You're right. They do have roller coasters there. We were waiting forever. It was a senior trip. Got stuck on a roller coaster hanging upside down, and then as we were hanging upside down with all the blood rushing to our heads, there was a big thunderclap. And all of a sudden, a storm cut loose. And we were just hanging upside down for 45 minutes there. Just in the air on a hanging.
45 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, and when they got us down, do you know what they were going to reward us with, sir?
A turkey leg.
Fast passes. If you want to keep riding rides, here's the fast pass to get you through the rest of the day in the rain here. It was like I came unglued.
I would have done it.
Oh, not me. No. Nope. I said, and I was like, this was a senior trip for school, and I was like, I'm already graduating. What are they going? They can't expel me for this. So, I said some outlandish stuff to the manager of the amusement park that would make my mother very upset if she heard what it. But we all had bruises all over our backs and stuff, and it started there. But there's just been a lot of bad experiences in Cincinnati. I was like, I don't know if God wants me here. I don't think He likes it when I come to Cincinnati, so I'm gonna quit doing that.
Big Def texted in Cedar Point. That's the one I was.
Cedar Point's the cool one. Cedar Point's the one that's cool.
That's the one I thought of. Yeah.
Scott in Terre Haute says, stay across the river in Kentucky, then take an Uber to the game. Super cheap. Yeah, I'd probably do that instead from now on. If I'm going to go to Cincinnati. Go. Yeah, but still. It's just some mixed feelings.
Okay, all right.
I got some mixed feelings with Cincinnati.
I did say, Scott in Terre Haute also texted in, there won't be any fans at the games. The Oliver Marmol extension really ticked him off.
What do you got, 2-year deal? Is that what he got?
Yeah, my buddy texted me afterwards, and he had a really good point. He was like, hey, who was the Cubs manager before Madden when they were kind of sucked, but you could tell they were doing something, they were going to be good?
He went to the White Sox.
Renteria.
Yeah.
So Rick Renteria
was
his name, and he said that's what this is. Marmol is not your long-term guy. This is an extension just to keep him in the role, keep the job. But he's not the guy. He's the guy that is the bridge to get to the guy. Because nobody really good wants to come in when you're in this spot as an organization. So you let Marmol kind of be that guy, bridge the gap, get these young guys, all the prospects, and all take the lickings for the next year or so. And then when you finally can see, we got something moving and grooving. That's when you go get the guy. That's when your Joe Madden comes available.
And then in the meantime and in between time, you enjoy your unlimited package. The Coca-Cola Unlimited package is starting at $29, all right, where you get to eat a bunch of stuff and have a bunch of Coca-Cola beverages and watch some baseball in the spring and summer, Yeah. Just look on the bright side of life.
Think about right now as you look outside and think about sitting at a ballpark.
Well, it's
84 degrees.
Yeah, right now the weather kind of sucks. I don't want to look outside right now.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's how you learn to appreciate what's coming. Even if it's bad, a bad day at the ballpark is better than any good day in the winter.
What's the worst day you ever had at the ballpark?
Oh my God!
I already know mine I know mine. That's why I asked the question.
Well, it was the game itself, but my wife and I had a great time. We came back. We were living in Colorado. We came back here. It was June. It was for our anniversary, and we went up to Wrigley. It was our first game together. The two of us went to Wrigley, and it was in mid-June, and it was actually cold. Like it was a cold mid-June day.
Weird.
They were playing the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, that's what it is. They brought that mountain air. Yes.
We lost like 2-0, and it was just the most boring game of baseball. The Cubs were lifeless. Nothing happened. It was chilly. It was awesome because I got to hang out and sit with my wife, and we got to be around, Chicago, ride bikes around Chicago with no kids. Like that was all incredible. But the game itself was like we splurged on tickets to sit right next to the dugout. And the whole time I'm just like, hey, do something. I spent money.
Yeah, there was it was 2008. It was the supposed season of destiny because, it had been 100 years since they had won a ring.
Of course.
But, Derek Lee, Zambrano pitched that day. I remember that. I remember Big Z pitching. We had great seats. That was Cubs-Brewers. And Cubs-Cardinals, that's a rivalry. That's obviously the rivalry. But I have a stronger disdain for Brewers fans after that day than I ever could for any other organization's fan base. Somebody came up to me a beer man, hey, beer here. Yeah, come over here. And this dude stood up behind me and goes, why are you serving him first? And the guy goes, he asked for it first. That's Brewer discrimination. I will never forget that dude saying that. And I was like, whatever, dude, shut up, sit down. I sit down, and the next thing I feel is the unmistakable feeling of mustard hitting me from my shoulder and my jeans. This dillweed took a bunch of packets of mustard and tied them up and then stomped them and sprayed me and 3 other people in the row because he was mad that he didn't get his beer. And so before I could, that was it. It was on. Like, I turned around. I was like, well, that's it. I'm going to get in a fight and get thrown out of here. But before anything like that happened, a very large security guard saw what happened and latched onto the Brewers fan and took him out of there. And they gave me a nice towel to clean off the mustard.
Wow.
Yeah, it stained the jeans and the shirt.
No fast pass?
Nah, I didn't. No fast pass there, buddy. This isn't an amusement park we're talking about. It's a baseball park. Everything's for profit, you know. So there you go. Nothing like what you went through, where it was just cold and you didn't have a good time. Somebody assaulted me with mustard. I'll never get over that. I hate Brewers fans. 217-359-2255. That is your number if you've ever been assaulted with mustard on the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Coming up in just a bit, Doug Bouchon's going to join us. Has nothing to do with mustard. Although maybe you felt like you got assaulted with mustard after Friday.
Yeah. I mean, they looked like mustard.
It was a rough go. It was a rough go for the Illini against Michigan.
Yeah. Hey, we also run to the socials.
Oh,
If you don't, follow us, Instagram.
At The Drive 935.
The Drive 935. We're gonna put some Etched in Stone pics on there.
Yeah, we ran a little late from the office of Evanstone, so we're gonna put the Etched in Stone pics there.
Yeah, come on over to our socials and hang out with us a little bit.
And maybe, just maybe, get some mediocre financial advice when it comes to your sports betting for your Monday night.
You pick to fade or follow. It's up to you.
Fade or follow. Either way, you're going to win. Doug Bouchon, Orange and Blue News on the way in just a few to talk Illini hoops with us.